going on, guys? And welcome to another episode of Bro Science Bullshit, where I'm hopefully going to help you figure out the science behind the things you want to know so you don't have to sift through all the bullshit to try to figure it out. So let's talk about it. HIIT training, spin, CrossFit, any of these very high intensity variations of training, while the science shows how well and effective it can train the system and how well it burns fat and how well you can put on muscle and just all these unbelievably things that it can do for the human body and how quickly it can happen. One thing that we're not taking into consideration is the ability to recover. And let me explain what I mean here. We as a society are already an overworked and under recovered form of human being for the most part. Not obviously not 100% of us, but a very large portion of humans are. And because of that, our health, wellness has gone to kind of complete shit. Now, because it's gone to complete shit, one of the maladaptations to that is less muscle, lower metabolism, holding on to more body fat than we like, things of this nature. Along with there's, obviously like genetic things that go along with this, but, you know, living this lifestyle will also only exacerbate those genetic things even more, which then ultimately means like you're just even on a faster pace there. So either way, it's all the same. We are an overworked and an under recovered society. And because of that, our health goes to hell. We start putting on body fat. And then one day we say, I want to lose this body fat. I want to become healthier. What do I do? Well, for a big portion of people, one of the first things they do is get a gym membership, join either a regular gym, but a lot of people love the class atmosphere. They love it, pushes you, it motivates you. And these are all great things. Like, I don't want anybody to think I'm slamming any of this, but I want to give you the things that aren't talked about with it. So we love the class atmosphere. HIIT training is highly talked about. Spin is highly talked about. CrossFit is highly talked about. So when people start Googling gyms, they're going to start Googling gyms that have to do with these and have these like buzzwords built into it. They're going to be highly attracted. People start going to class. They love the class. They love the atmosphere. And all that is really good for them. But we're going into these high intensity classes already under recovered and then expecting fat loss. And on top of that, the mind frame we tend to have when we go to these classes is the highest caloric burn possible is like the goal. And that is the PR for us, is the highest number of calories we can burn in that whatever 45 or 60 minutes, however long we're going to class. So now we're an under recovered person going into a high intensity class that's going to take us further down that road. And then our mindset is to also push the highest caloric burn number possible, which is, going to push us further down that road. And while we're not doing anything on the back end to say, how can I get more quality sleep? How can I get just more sleep? How can I get more nutrients into my, daily food? And then after that, how can I get more food in? How can I get more things to help recover from this? Those are the things we actually struggle with the most. So we end up compiling ourselves with these stressors of what's already our daily life, plus then working out hard and really pushing for this number. And then after a few weeks or months, everybody's a little bit different here. Then we start stressing more about how shit's not changing and how the scale's not changing. And so now it's even more stress. So while the goal was to develop a healthy habit, to get healthier, to lose body fat, and all these, amazing things, we really kind of just pushed it even worse by focusing on the more stressful things and then also not taking just as much time to focus on ways to recover. So my advice here is, prior to jumping into one of these high intensity variations of a class, focus on your fundamental basics. Focus on getting more sleep in. Focus on getting more steps in. Focus on getting more nutrient dense foods in. Then focus on getting more foods in. Focus on getting more social and time and fulfillment there. When you've gotten those basics down and you've done this for 4 to 6 weeks, maybe, then you can look into placing more stress on the body. But we can't look into placing more stress on the body if our body is already really stressed out. Again, I'm not saying any of these modalities of training are inherently bad. They are great. But situationally, for certain people, surely they can make things worse. And unfortunately, a large portion of our society has been pushed to their limits, and we're not doing enough to recover. So, taking on big bouts of HIIT training, spin, CrossFit, just any of these high intensity bouts of activity can a lot of times do worse. Y'all, I hope this helps out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this with somebody. And if you have questions, leave them down in the comments. Peace.